Now let's stop a moment. What is democracy? Democracy is groups of people saying, we are going to vote as a bloc and capture power. Now if you could get everybody to vote together, then a party like the Congress could run the government forever. So they got the Brahmins and the Rajputs together and basically talked some scheduled caste people into agreeing with them and ran the country for 40 years. Now at some point, these scheduled caste guys figured out this isn't working for us. Yeah. So along comes Kanchi Ram, who you don't take too seriously. But along comes his prodigy, Mayawati, and that's serious now. So what has happened is that you can call it caste if you please, but basically votes are getting split along economic self-interest lines. People who live from day to day don't have the time or the energy to worry about the future of India. They worry about staying alive. We, who have everything, can talk about what India will become in 30 years. So we can, our political choices, our event horizon bears no relationship to the event horizon of the overwhelming majority of Indians. So if they vote the way they do, I hold myself responsible. Because I have done nothing as a community to make a sufficient difference in their lives that they can stop worrying about tomorrow morning and start worrying about 1 decade hence. So voting for them is a means of survival. I had a friend of mine who did this assembly election for the Congress party, in UP, and he went everywhere and he made this impassioned speech about not being corrupt and being wealthy from his great-great-grandfather onwards, and therefore not needing to be corrupt. And he said, I will do everything for my country and Vikas and this, that, and why don't you vote for me? So all the sarpanches said, boss, in 60 years we have established that there is no Vikas. Development will not occur. Cash ki baat karo yaar. We'll decide how much money we want to spend where. So he came back outraged. They're trying to buy, they want me to buy their votes. But why not? You're not spending money on them anyway. So scams really are the consequences of the inequities of our society, because the politician who needs to win an election needs cash to buy the votes. And where is he going to get the money from? Now democracy is always about selling votes. Selling votes, one way or the other, we all sell votes. I mean, dominant groups come together in a democracy and set up laws that work for them to the exclusion of those who are out of power. What are laws? Laws are only the self-interest of dominant social groups. So, you can be corrupt in cash terms, or you can be corrupt in setting up laws that redistribute wealth. Now look at something like a land acquisition law. We are all industrialists, we've all been the beneficiary, no? But most of us, it wasn't our land that got taken. You simply walk in there, have a section 4 notification and take somebody's land off. And then you have this crazy intellectual construct which says land acquisition is one thing, compensation is another, and rehabilitation is a third. Forget about rehabilitation, you never get to compensation because the man can't establish title. Why? Because his father, grandfather, great-grandfather lived in a juggi jhopdi that leaked in the monsoons. He never had any paper to begin with, and if he did, he can't read. He can't prove title. So you basically kick him off the land, take his land, develop it, sell it at 40 times the price. So laws, by their very definition, are morally neutral. So every politician needs cash. Where is he going to get the cash from? Basically the license, permit, quota Raj. It was like Ram Raj. Well, he was no problem. Anything you want to get done, pay and get it done. It is very simple. Cash and carry business, so to speak. Now you've gone and liberalized and created a mess. Because if you liberalize and there are no rules, then how is the guy going to make money? So mota there are 3 ways he makes money. One, you have this low intensity process based revenue. Customs duty, sales tax, excise, income tax, industrial licenses. The problem is, Behti Ganga mein sab haath dho rahe hain. So for every rupee that gets taken, 5 paisa reaches the top. And then you institutionalize it and everybody gets used to the idea of making lots of money. Not a good way to collect money. Then there are these job auctions, which are really a great way for politicians to make money. It's a kind of outsourcing. What you say is, this octroi post has the total amount of money that's paid in graft is X crores. So why don't you give me X minus 20% crores upfront and post you there for a year? It's the same as a parking lot outside. MCT says that isko auction kara do. You can take 20% of the take, 80% is mine. Same with jobs. So most people are buying their jobs now, at least their postings. But this again is not enough. So what you need is these big bang scams. Because that's the fastest way to make quick money. Firstly, the best news is it's one-on-one. You walk in there, you tell me, give me a license for telecom, what do I owe you? And you say, okay, 400 crores, 50% shareholding, stuff like that. So it's a single window clearance, cross the table deal, there are no intermediaries, so it is not leaky. Most of the money gets to the place it needs to get. You can have a ek haath le, ek haath de, so it's a reliable way to make things happen. The problem is that the damn press is not letting you do it now. And what is this, outrage. But if you are outraged about that, tell me how is a politician going to win the next election? You want democracy, but you don't want the system to function. The other way to do it is, okay, let the state pay for everybody's election. I mean, in all Nordic countries, that's how it goes now. Every candidate gets paid a sum of money. And elections are fought. Based on your previous performance, you get more money. Then the income tax payers can pay it. There are very few of us. Most of them are probably sitting in this room. We can all pay for everybody's elections then. That's the other way to do it. What would you rather have? Would you rather pay more income tax or let some guy pay for a telecom license or selling a coal mine or something? There is little purpose in having defocused debates about vaguely defined moral issues based on unexamined ideological assumptions. Because they don't explain anything. Unless you see a problem in the context in which it is occurring, the judgment you make is flawed.